How's it going, everybody? Movie Maniacs here, and we have a new review for you. The new Star Wars movie, first one since last year when Force Awakens came out, round 2 for Disney Lucasfilm, and first anthology movie too.
Yes.
So this review format's gonna be a little different. We're not just gonna go through positive negatives. We're gonna have more of a discussion.
That's gonna be for the future too.
Yeah. So, Andrew, what else did you want to introduce before we start the review?
Nothing to really introduce. It's just this is the first anthology film, so a lot was riding on this. Are these films gonna work? Because we have the Han Solo coming out soon. So yeah, there's a lot riding on this film. Can an anthology Star Wars film work? And Carter, did it work?
I do think it worked. I thought it was a really well-made movie. I think this one fits the tone more of the Lucasfilms than The Force Awakens did. This one felt a lot more like the other ones in terms of cinematography and just tone. And the characters, the main characters, did you like them?
I did like the main characters, but they were not memorable. That's the hardest thing because they didn't flesh out like any of the characters. I mean, yeah, Jyn Erso had a backstory,
but you still don't really know much about her.
And they just like I went on Rotten Tomatoes today, looked at all the characters, and I'm like, wait a sec, that's their name? They never even mentioned their names, and that's the biggest negative. They don't do much.
They don't, especially the one Imperial pilot who kind of defected, I guess.
Yeah. He
didn't really do anything for the story. The blind samurai guy who likes the Force, he is fine.
I liked him.
He's got some cool action scenes, but there's not much more to him. K2SO is a fun droid.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much
the names I can think off the top of my head.
I just remember Cassian is like the pilot. He's okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't like him that much. So that's the main crew. They weren't that really fleshed out or anything, but they served their purpose.
They were fine, but they just didn't do much to the film.
And Saw Gerrera, I feel like he was just kind of thrown in to have more connection to the Clone Wars TV show. Mm. I don't really think he added much. Because I know it was kind of cool that he was like an insurgent or whatever. Like I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That he hates the Empire, but he also doesn't like the Rebels. But he just was in there kind of for a brief time, speaking his little raspy voice. Like, he didn't really, I don't know, he was just kind of there. They didn't explain why he's got that big suit on.
Or the little...
And, like, the metal legs. Like, they didn't explain that at all.
And his best line, "Save the rebellion, save the dream." Yeah, it's in the trailer. I was like, that's a cringy line. At the end of the trailer, I was like, oh, no, we got a film coming here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
I wouldn't say...
a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you've watched Clone Wars. Have you seen him in the Clone Wars show?
I don't watch Clone Wars. I saw a couple of the episodes that he's in, though.
Did he have that voice?
No.
So this was just Forrest Whitaker doing his voice?
Yeah, this is his interpretation of the character.
Because I was like, he was off-putting a little bit.
Yeah, and then, so I wouldn't say the heroes were that, like, most of my interest in this movie, like, the best characters and the most interesting scenes for me came from the Empire.
Yes, for sure. And I went to this movie for the story, not the characters. But the characters are the biggest letdown of the film. That's why it makes the movie somewhat unmemorable in some senses.
I really thought that Orson Krennic was a great Star Wars villain. I mean, besides the Sith villains, Krennic is probably my favorite villain outside of them.
I thought he was very good.
I thought he was very, very. I wouldn't say menacing, but he was very cool. He was low key, but he had his purpose. He had his desires, his beliefs about the Empire.
Best scene with him is that opening scene was very good.
Yeah, where he's got the Death Troopers and they're walking across this field. Like that was dope.
And great cinematography. I think that's what was good with Godzilla. It had a great cinematography, and it's kind of this. I think maybe it was even the same cinematographer. I'm not sure.
Could have been, but back to Krennic just for a second. I thought that Ben Mendelsohn did a great job.
Yes, very much, yes.
Yeah, I really like him from Bloodline, and he did a great job here. Definitely good. And come on, man, the cape. You gotta love the cape.
The cape, I'm sure it was heavy. Like, it looked really heavy.
I want to be him for Halloween sometime.
That would be cool, yes.
And so, now let's get to the action. There's no lightsabers in this movie.
Well,
yes.
No spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, most of this movie comes from blasters
and blaster action was cool, and the ship action was cool.
Especially the last third of this movie.
The beach scene you see in the trailer is really good,
which ties into the stealing the Death Star plans. Great scene.
Yeah, the ending was great. Part. Last act was the best. The other two were a little bit slow for me.
Yeah,
but still pretty good. The one scene where they were Krennic confronts Generos's father.
Yes.
That scene was really good as
The
well.
opening scene you're talking about?
No, the one where it's like raining a planet. I can't think of the planet's name.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Where the Kyber crystals.
That was a good scene as well. And talking about action, great CGI all across the board.
Oh, great CGI.
I mean, the budget's like $200 million, so you have to expect it's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
But yes, Oscar for that.
So, so there's not really, like we said, the only main thing we didn't like was the characters not being that fleshed out.
I'll say the characters was my biggest negative, and then the first two acts,
they look just slightly slow.
Slightly slow.
Exactly.
Third one it picked up.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I won't say the first two acts diminished the film at all.
There's nothing boring in this movie.
No, I'll just say they were a little bit slow, but don't take that too hard.
Now let's go into the spoiler section.
Yeah, I'll put on the bottom of this video where we're going to have a rating, so if you don't want any spoilers.
But we need to talk about this.
It's
very important.
So you've been warned. Spoilers.
Darth Vader.
Oh my gosh, the scene where he's throwing people everywhere, best scene.
That's because, like, the Rebels, at this point in the movie, the Rebels have already been, they delivered the plans to the Rebels, and the Rogue One team, I guess, they died.
Yeah.
They died on that planet along with Krennic.
All of them died.
I like that because that's not something you see in a lot of Star Wars movies, the heroes dying.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Magnificent Seven, where I like that ending because they die. I'm glad. Well, not all of them died, but I like that. They don't need to ride off into a sunset, fly into a sun or something.
And be all like, oh, let's go have some fun adventures. Like,
yeah. Sequels? No.
Yeah.
None of that. They died because they don't have a purpose, and that's what would actually happen. And and it
works with, it blends right into New Hope.
Yeah, and then it ends the movie with the Imperial troops or whatever. They're giving the plans to Leia, and Leia ends the movie with hope, saying hope, and that works because.
But before that, they try to get they're trying to get into the ship, and Vader's there.
Yeah.
Ignites his lightsaber
and
starts hauling ass with all these guys. He's like picking them up with the Force, throwing them on the wall, slicing them down.
I mean, that's like the best you could ask for from a Star Wars fan.
Choking them just like whoosh, and they're done. They're done. It was great.
Just got the plans to Leia. See, as a Star Wars fan, when you watch A New Hope, you're not really sure how all these plans happened, like how they got to him, how they got him. This movie explains everything.
I also really love how they brought Tarkin back. The CGI was good for him. Right?
And Leia's, both CGI I thought were really good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tarkin, he looked realistic.
And he had a lot of screen time, which it can be debated.
It worked for the movie.
Yeah, it worked for the movie. But I think they didn't need as much screen time, but it worked for the movie because he is a big part.
Yeah.
And the CGI worked.
I liked the conflict between him and Krennic, because basically Tarkin wants to take credit for the Death Star project when that was... Tarkin wants to take credit for the Death Star project, which was basically Krennic's baby.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of his thing. And I just really liked that conflict. It was great. And Vader's first scene, it's on Mustafar, which, by the way, is where he first became scarred, and
yes,
he has a castle there, and it shows him all scarred up, like in this. It's like Bacta tank, or like what are those things called? Where
I don't know what they call it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool, for sure. That I just really like that whole scene where he just comes out of the smoke to talk to Krennic and like chokes him for a quick second.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, I liked my favorite act. Like I said, my favorite act is the beach scene, and I like how. Like, I wish the characters were more memorable and more fleshed out, so then when they died, it'd be a little more emotional.
But I guess that's maybe why they didn't.
But there's so many of them where they don't want you to be emotional, but I do say it was really hard to watch, not hard to watch, but when K2SO died, it was like, wow, he did it all for whatever, and it was a good scene, I thought, where he sacrificed himself, and I thought he gave some comedic moments here and there.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? I think we talked.
Sum it up quick. Vader scene's great. Krennic, great villain. I loved him. And the action's great.
Yes, I couldn't probably reiterate anything more. And then also when the two ships are colliding together, that whole scene when they're gotta get those two together, that was also really cool.
Also, no crawl, and Michael Giacchino does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta interrupt you. Crawl was hard. I'm not gonna say I needed to crawl. I just wanted the Star Wars logo to come on because it was so jarring going from a long time in a galaxy or whatever. Bam! Then bam! So jarring. And it was fine when the Rogue One came on, that was fine. But at least put the Star Wars logo on. You don't need a crawl. So they go Star Wars and then go down or whatever they do, like, nah, like that little song. They could have done that, but it's all like,
Yeah, it was
Like-
weird. It was just kind of like
It kind of puts you, but in a way, it kind of puts you right in there, so you're like right into the action. But also, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they could have crawled, but totally fine. Just mention what's happening.
And what did you think of Michael Giacchino's score?
Not memorable at all, but it sounds like John Williams did it.
There's a few tracks I kind of like because I was listening to him today.
Okay, so I haven't done that yet. So yes.
I mean, for the most part, they're very like just not really memorable. But there's a few like there's like a new Imperial March that's kind of Krennic's theme, and I really like
Oh,
that.
cool.
And other than that, it's basically just kind of replicating John Williams without anything memorable.
Which he's good at doing. He's good at doing and replicating for all of them. But you're gonna have to say after episode 9, he's gonna probably take over because Disney
Probably,
loves him.
But yeah, and John Williams probably isn't going to last too many more years.
He said he wanted to do through 9, and that's it. And I think that's where we're gonna see it. And Giacchino's gonna do probably Han Solo and Jango Fett, or not Jango, Boba Fett, if we see that, which will hopefully be a good film. So yeah, spoilers are over.
Is over.
Yeah, rating.
Rating, I'll give this movie a solid 7 out of 10 stars because it's a very good time. I really, really liked like all the Imperial stuff. All that was great. The CGI action scenes, fantastic stuff. But the main characters just aren't that memorable, and overall, it's just nothing mind-blowing, but I did really, really enjoy it.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Basically, just 2 points off for characters, and probably a 1.5 for characters, and then just little things here and there. Nothing too nitpicky. I will say I liked Force Awakens better. You liked Rogue One more.
I like Rogue One more because it has a stronger script and there's more of a just solidly made. Like this one, it matches the tone and look of the past Star Wars movies, and it doesn't have any cringeworthy dialogue, humor, or plot holes, which I might get into sometime other.
Yeah, you want to have some videos sometime about Force Awakens, but yeah, good directing too.
Yeah, I think
good
so.
script.
Yeah. Gareth Edwards is a talented guy, I think.
Yeah, he is. I really do. You like Godzilla? I really like Godzilla.
I like the scenes that have Godzilla.
See, I'm not someone that's bothered by that. The rest of the film was very good, I thought. But it's an underrated film in my opinion. I mean, it's not for everyone.
I feel like Bryan Cranston died off too soon.
Yeah. Spoiler? No, it's been out too long. Anyway, so that's our review for Star Wars Rogue
One, Star Wars, Story.
Whatever you want to call it. I call it Rogue One, whatever. So comment down below your thoughts on the film. Don't give any spoilers out. Don't be that one guy.
We hate people like that.
Yeah, don't be that one.
I found out Han Solo died from somebody in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, and don't be like, oh, Han Solo died. Oh, whatever. Come on. If you really want to see, you would have seen it by now. Like half the world saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our review. Make sure you give this video a like, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We just hit over 200, so let's keep going. Let's go to 300.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. This is Movie Maniacs. Signing out.